This is TJ with Tech Made Easy. Welcome to the channel. My channel is all about making things affordable, practical, and easy. And today what I'm going to do is, a lot of times I focus on the computer side of things. And if you've seen my videos in the past, you know I have a video server and I use Plex for that. But I also have a movie projector, and I've gone through a couple of these. And let me give you a kind of a history. About 10 years ago, I did a little bit of remodeling in my basement, and I wanted to make it more user-friendly for a entertainment center. And so what I did is I built an area into the wall that was going to have, I was going to have a 85-inch TV. When the prices came down, back then they were $5,000 to $6,000. Now they're more around $2,500. There's still a lot though. And one of my friends says, "Hey, why don't you try one of these Chinese projectors?" So I went ahead and tried one of those projectors, and I was absolutely shocked. And in my room, because I did built-in stuff into the wall, I could only get a 100-inch screen, which is fine because my family room in the basement isn't a huge family room anyway, so it worked out. And so what happened was I started getting into these Chinese projectors. So I've gone through a few, and I'll explain why I've gone through some of them. But I finally have landed, this is probably my fourth or fifth one that I'm going to be talking about today. And I am not a movie projector channel or anything like that, but what I have found is that this particular projector, of the ones that I've tried, gives me almost near 4K quality as my 4K TV. That doesn't mean I'm playing 4K movies. I'm not into, if you've seen any of the stuff on my channel, I'm not a 4K movie fan because the HDR mapping, it seems darker, and even on my HDR TV, I don't like it as much as I do Blu-rays. But at any rate, what I've done is I've compared this projector to my 4K TV. I've got two 65-inch 4K TVs, and the thing that I try to do also when I purchase one of these is I want to get the color corrections about the same as my TV. So you can do a lot of color correction with this projector, and this is the projector right here. It's actually fairly small. You can get these for less than $200, and then it comes in this backpack case. So if you want to carry it around, or if you just want to use this not for your home necessarily, but maybe projecting it outside, it's a great projector. And these projectors have come a long ways since when I bought my first one. My first one was pretty good, but the brightness on these projectors are way better now than they were even with my first one, even though I was impressed with my first one. Now there is a difference though. A lot of these Chinese projectors, they use the same software, but not all of them do. And I bought one time, and I didn't like the color. No matter how I adjusted all of my color options with the projector, I could never get it as good as the last projector that I had. And so eventually I ended up getting this one here, which I'm really happy with. The brightness, the contrast, the color, everything. And what you'll find is you'll be amazed the quality that these come. Now, the disadvantage of these is that the darker the room, the better the quality. And so that's the thing, is that I'm not trying to convince people to get a projector, because to have a projector, you have to have a wall or an area that you want to display that, unless you're just going to use it outside or special occasions. But in my case, I now have done this. I probably won't go to a 85-inch TV because I'm so used to having a big screen now in our basement family room that I'll stick with a projector. Now, this is the whole thing, is that these projectors are 1080p, high definition resolution, but they're 4K supported. Okay, and so let's go ahead, let's take a look at it, let's get into it, and I'll show you the results. Okay, so I want to just take a minute here before I start showing the pictures to talk about a couple of things when it comes to these Chinese projectors, and this is the one that I have here. It's $199, and the looms on this, just so you know, when you look at looms on these, obviously the higher the looms, the better. But it's not the same as a bulb, a projector that has a bulb in it, or these are LED lamps, okay? And so I do want to also stress that they can, depending on which brand you buy, the fans can be, some can be more noisier than other fans. I don't find the fan on this one irritating at all, and I'll play it here in a sec. Okay, this is a scene in Avatar. I just wanted to show you this because I'm right below the projector. It's hanging down from the ceiling, so I might be 3 or 4 feet. And the only reason why I'm playing this was wanted to see if you could hear the fan. I'm so used to it, I can't hear it, but like I said, this is the complaint of some of these projectors, but I think the fan on this projector is way easier, or not so prominent. And then this scene here is from Avatar, what we're watching as they're approaching the planet. And just want you to notice how clear that is. Again, I'm doing this with my phone. And like I said, I'm not a photographer, but this is the best I can do. But anyway, this projector, we'll be looking at pictures as well. Just remember, I'm showing pictures from my phone, and this video is from my phone as well. The other thing is like I mentioned before, you do have to play these, the best picture with these, the darker the room, the better. And it's not that you can't watch something in a lit room, but you don't want it to be a fully lit room, partially lit room, or maybe in the back of the room there's a light on, and that's fine too. But just so you know, the darker the better on these. Now, the one thing that as we go on here, like I said, I'm not going to talk about like the Bluetooth and all those type of features, because I just bought this specifically to use in my family room. It hangs from the ceiling, and yes, you can hang this from the ceiling. If you're going to look on here, the legs here, when you tip this over, you peel off the rubber that's on the legs, and then that's where you screw in your hardware for your ceiling if you're going to hang this from the ceiling. And again, like I said, I'm actually just showing Blu-ray movies. And one of the things that for me, and this is a personal opinion, and I've said this, and I know people disagree sometimes in the comments, but I personally, as far as quality of the picture goes and details, I don't see that much difference between a 4K movie and a Blu-ray. And maybe that's because a lot of Blu-rays are 2K. I don't know why, but I don't see a huge difference between the. Now, color mapping is different. And I personally like the color mapping better on a Blu-ray than I do on 4K. So anyway, so we're going to be looking at pictures here with Blu-ray movies. And one thing you do have to realize, and I've mentioned this throughout the process of showing the pictures, is that I have to take these pictures in the dark. So in some ways, I'm not doing this projector justice because it's not showing, and I'm not a professional photographer. I don't have a real expensive camera. I just have my phone that I'm taking this with. But you'll get a sense of the quality of it still, even though the quality isn't doing it justice. So let's just take a look here. This is another model. It's a newer model. I don't know if it's good. It has better specs. It's less expensive. I don't know why it's less expensive than the other one. So that's a model there, and you can look at that. And me personally, if I was looking at buying one of these, then maybe buy the one that I suggest, and then buy another brand. The one thing about Amazon, it is so easy to return something, and that's what I did. I bought 2 projectors at the same time, and I sent one of them back. So, and again, but even though that is the case, or about those 2 projectors, again, I did this about 10 years ago, and these things are so much better. And it wasn't bad when I first got it. I was impressed 10 years ago when I bought my first one. So anyway, as far as
screens go, that depends on how you plan on using this. You can do it on the wall. I don't know if the quality, if it's a light wall, it'd probably work fine. But you can buy these now. In my case, I could only do 100 inches because of how I built in my how I designed my the theater portion of my family room, and so that's all I could do. And to be honest, because of the size of my family room, the 100 inches is pretty good. I don't know if I'd want to go bigger than 100 inches, but depending on your needs, you may want. So here's a 100-inch screen for $30, but you can get them cheaper than that. Here's another one, and this one, they have 13,000 ratings on this one, and this is $15. And the reason why these holes are on the black here is that they give you these hooks that you can hang the screen on. I didn't do it that way, but and actually I might have done it this way if they made them like that when I bought mine. They didn't make these with hooks that you could hook on, but you may not like the looks of the hooks. Here's a 120-inch screen for $25, and so on and so forth. So let's just go ahead. Keep in mind again, I'm showing Blu-ray. Keep in mind again, I'm taking this completely in the dark with my camera. Now I will say this much, my camera does make color corrections when I take pictures in the dark. I wish it didn't. I can't turn that off. There's something about it, trying to get the best quality in the dark, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at some of the pictures from this display. Like I mentioned, I could only do a 100-inch screen, and you can see why, because I pre-built these shelves about 10 years ago. I did a little remodel here to make this more user-friendly for a theater room, and I pre-built these shelves, and I spaced them only so far apart, and for a 85-inch TV. So obviously this is wider than 85. It's just a 100-inch screen, so I had to cover up some of the shelving on the sides. But anyway, you can walk behind this shelf as well. There's a door to the left there that allows me to walk behind there. I store stuff. My server's back there. My video server is back behind this wall. And you can also see here in the picture here that I am taking this picture in a fairly lighted room. So it's not that you can't watch these in a lighted room. It's just the quality is much better when it's darker. So let's go ahead and take a look at our pictures. Okay, so now let's take a look here. So what I have here is I have two pictures. One is a picture of one of my 4K TVs. We have two 4K TVs, and one is HDR. But the one on the right is the one with the 4K TV. The one on the left here is is the projector. Now, just to let you know, when I'm taking pictures of the 4K TV, it's in a lighted room. Okay. But when I take a picture of the projector and this projector and the screen of projector, these projectors work best in as dark as you can get it. So I'm taking a picture of this projector screen in the dark. And unfortunately, I'm not a photographer. I'm using my phone to do this. And I hesitated to even show these pictures because I'm not doing the projector justice. Because part of the reason is I'm taking these in the dark. My camera also makes some adjustments in the dark as well, and so just so you know that the quality that you're going to see here, I'm not doing the projector justice because I can only get with my camera I can only get so much quality taking a picture in the dark. But let's just talk about the two pictures that we do have up here. So and you'll notice here on my 4K TV on the right, the flesh tones are a little different. That's because on my projector, the flesh tones are pretty much the same as the 4K TV, but when I take a picture of it, it's my camera, again, it makes these corrections because it's in the dark, so it wants to correct the color. And so just so you know here, is that the color difference when you're seeing this without obviously me taking a picture of it are really close. And in fact, in my projector, I only have to take a few adjustments. I like to adjust it so it's about the same as the 4K TV looking. Now, one thing you're going to notice too is his skin's a little smoother, and part of that reason why it's not as smooth on the projector here on the left is because I like to have the sharpness higher on my projector, and I don't really I haven't really played with the this 4K TV settings as far as sharpness goes. So this is the default sharpness on the 4K TV on the right. So you're going to notice that things are a little bit more pronounced here on the projector picture because I have the sharpness turned up. So you'll notice even the wrinkles underneath his eyes are more pronounced than the wrinkles over here. You can see the wrinkles are a little smoother here, and that's just because of the sharpness. But you can see here even the pores are more pronounced, so on and so forth. So that's not the reason why I mentioned that, because that smoothness has to do with my settings. But you can see here, as far as details go, there's lots of detail, just like in the 4K picture as well, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and look at the other pictures that I've taken. Again, I'm not doing the projector justice, but I just wanted to show you some pictures anyway. So let's go ahead, let's move on, let's show some of the other pictures I've taken of the projector. And again, realize that I'm taking this in the dark, my camera's making adjustments, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now here with cars, and I have to explain something here. I am not taking these pictures head on. I'm kind of sitting on my couch, and so that's why you're going to see the screen is a little swampy, because I'm not taking pictures head on with this. But you can see that this is pretty clear. It's actually even clearer when you're looking at the projector and not taking a picture of it. But it's even me taking a picture of it, it's pretty good. I mean, you can see how shiny it is. And don't get me wrong, Cars Blu-ray is an excellent Blu-ray DVD. The quality is just outstanding, and you can see details like in his tongue, and you can see this dirt at the bottom of this car right here. Anyway, it's just a good quality movie. So just be aware that some of my pictures are also going to be swampy because I'm not taking a picture dead on. And so then here's Gandalf from The Hobbit, another from The Hobbit. And then we've got Barbie here. We've got, this is Stan Lee in the Avengers. He always does a cameo, and you can see how clear it is there. And this is from Alita Battle Angel, more from Alita, another one from Alita. I'm going through these pretty quick, so I have quite a few. And this is from, the name of the movie just escaped me. Warcraft. And you can see the details in his face. You can see the hairs on him, the little veins popping out, the detail. It's great. And then here's another one from Warcraft as well. And this is from It's a Wonderful Life. And some of these I zoomed in, and I probably shouldn't have. But again, all these pictures, when you're watching the movie, look better than the pictures I'm taking. Just to let you know. Another one from It's a Wonderful Life. Hobbit again, and then this is Tomb Raider. Now this movie here is The Sixth Day. If you haven't seen this is an awesome Arnold Schwarzenegger new movie, and I paused this right as they were making a transition from this scene to another scene, so I just kept it in there anyway. And here's a ski scene from that movie, and then we've got Star Trek here, and again Star Trek again, and then we've got a shuttle going into the Enterprise Bay, Captain Pike, and this is Transformers, and another Transformers. All these pictures here are from Transformers. I'm just going through them really quick just so you can get an idea. And now what we have is Wolverine right here, and now we have Galaxy, and we have a few from Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, and so now I did go on to YouTube and I did play a 4K wild video, so these are from that. And that 4K, that video right here was really bright. That's why that's so bright. It's not because of the projector or my camera. That's just the way they had shot it. It was really bright. This is anyway. So as we move along here, Avatar right here. I have a few from Avatar, and you can see the details here. You can see all the sweat and everything. And some of these pictures, when I freeze them, they're partially blurry. Like on the left here, that's just the way it froze because they're moving and stuff. And so, depending on when I pause the movie, it will depend if I get a little bit of blurriness. But one of the helicopters from there, and so really quick, a projector isn't for everybody. But if you're looking to get into a projector, these projectors, you can get into them a nice projector for under 200 bucks. It just amazes me. Even the first time I tried one 10 years ago, I couldn't believe the quality back then, and the quality is way improved now. Instead of talking about quality of picture, let's talk about quality of the hardware. Okay, one thing about LED lamps is that they say that they last 50, 70,000 hours. That's not true. I'm going to tell you right now, they will not last that long. When I got my first one, I was curious, and so I left it on 24/7. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up replacing it, because eventually that lamp does burn out. Now it's not, and then the second unit I got was better than the first one that I bought. It was brighter, the contrast was better, so on and so forth. And so in my situation, sometimes this thing is on 24/7, which most people aren't going to do that. And really, I don't need it on 24/7. So, but if you're going to be watching this normally, even if you watch it every night, for a couple hours, I mean, it'll last for a long time. But if it's on 24/7, give it about 2 years, you'll end up replacing it. That's just the reality. That lamp does not last like that. But no matter what, but the thing is, they're so inexpensive for me to have to buy another one because I leave it on all the time. It's not a big deal. I don't leave mine on all the time now. Where there for a few years, I was leaving them on a lot. But anyway, there you have it. So the quality of it, and I did mention before, a lot of these Chinese companies use the same parts. I don't know if they're all the same. They use the same software, but not all of them are the software. Like I talked there, I got one projector. I hated the picture display that it did. Hated it, so I returned it. And I actually got this one because my other projector went out on me. So there you have it. I hope this was helpful. This is TJ with Tech Made Easy. If you're looking to get a projector, this is a great one. If you want to get one that's cheaper than that, I would go on, search on YouTube for projectors under $100. There are people out there that give their reviews on those, and they've tested them personally. But this is TJ with Tech Made Easy. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Now that was easy peasy.